Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you on this lovely, chilly Tuesday evening?
It is cold for December. Holy smokes.
It is cold, and it's going to get super windy,
As it does.
but it's Buffalo Bills weather.
It is. It definitely is. And I am decked in my Bills gear, so
I love
I'm ready
it.
for it.
I
I'm
love
ready
it.
for it.
Awesome. Well, how would you like to share a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I am Buddy in the Basement. I am only a 2-year-old on the Instagram. I think we just posted our something like 700th video.
Oh my gosh.
In 2 years. So we've been moving. We've been moving at a good space.
Oh my gosh.
And I tell everybody, Buddy is a character with a lot of costume changes, with a lot of different voices.
Yeah.
But the hope is that everybody can find a little bit of Buddy within them.
Yeah.
And you can plug into some of our food content, our crazy cocktails, or our tailgating chaos, as we like to call it, for game day.
All right. Well, we can share stories about game day
Yeah,
tailgating
sure.
chaos.
Mhm.
I'll fill you in on what happens in the Carlson
I
house.
can't
So,
wait.
oh my gosh.
I can't wait.
Well, it's exciting that you're here. I found you because I have your sweatshirt on. I had entered
Looks
in
awesome.
one of your contests and then we started just chatting. And I was like, this is a fun conversation that needs to come to the podcast.
I am glad you thought so. Let's hope everybody who's listening thinks so as well.
Oh, I bet they will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we like to do a little bit of an icebreaker.
Okay.
All right. So tonight's icebreaker, and we think food is a great connector. People come around the table, we talk, we get to know each other. So your must-haves for a tailgate.
Oh, wow. That's a great question. I am a big chips and dip kind of guy,
Solid.
specifically bison dip.
All right.
And I always need ridges in my chips.
That's fair.
I don't like the smooth stuff. I like a little texture to grab onto that bison dip. I also really appreciate a good sub. I think Wegman subs are absolutely fantastic. Kind of fill my belly, and then I'm always able to save a little bit for post game as well, which is good. We're in Buffalo, so pizza and wings are definitely must-haves as well. But saving the best for last, some Labatt Blue Light really makes my day a little bit easier. For sure.
And we should thank the brew house for our cocktails tonight. They're delicious. Absolutely great. Ken, your favorite part of tailgating? I think I'm knowing what you're going to say.
Gotta have the wings, gotta have the beers.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Number one and number two.
So I have a big superstition around my tailgate.
Okay.
So my tailgate has to have at least 10 different distinct food items that I've made.
Okay.
And we also have to have a cocktail of the day to get started.
Okay.
And then a dessert cocktail.
A dessert cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's
Okay.
dessert too,
Mhm.
but like pretty serious about this tailgating thing.
It sounds that way.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to have the food. You got to have the drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do your drinks coincide with the game at all, or is it just usually a random assortment of?
Usually the dessert pairs with the dessert. The dessert cocktail pairs with the dessert itself. So
Sure.
let's see. Last Sunday was a vanilla espresso martini that I paired with a lemon cream cheese cake.
One sounds better than the other.
I mean, I know, but
Thanks for bringing leftovers. Gosh.
well, thanks for like I said, we think great food is just this great connector in Buffalo
Always.
and tailgating. I mean, but why do we have you? How about favorite wing spot? Do you have one in Buffalo?
So I like to do the whole like Mount Rushmore top 4 type spots
Okay, fair,
that I think
fair.
are great. We're down in the city. I think Gabe's Gate is probably one of the best down here. Out by I guess a Northtown spot would be Caputi's on Sheridan.
Oh, I don't know this
just,
one.
Just a small spot.
Oh,
Yeah. Hole in the wall type experience.
Perfect.
Yep. And then I think Bar Bill definitely makes my list.
Mhm.
for sure. I love their different sauces and
Yeah.
just think they're really well done. And then I always just leave one open for
Sure.
anybody else who wants to compete for that last spot
All
along
right.
the way.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
yeah,
Can't
yeah,
play
yeah.
favorites.
Sure. Don't want to do that.
Nope. All right. Well, I would like to hear the story of how you brought Bunny in the Basement to life.
Yeah. Now, how far back am I able to go here?
I
are
mean-
we going to the origin story of it all?
Sure.
Okay. So it was 2020, and I spent a good majority of my time watching different videos on my
Okay.
phone. And I saw a lot of people just doing absolute silliness.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can do this. I can be that idiot on camera, and hopefully people will giggle about it.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. So I spent literally 2 years, as I like to say, doing research,
Yeah.
which just meant watching a whole ton of
Yeah.
videos and trying to see what went well and what, felt right to people and what was getting the likes and the shares and
Yeah.
all things like that. And then it was August of 23. We launched our first couple videos,
Okay.
and as they say, the rest is history.
Mhm.
But it has been a wild climb to where I am now. I look back on some of my old stuff and I'm just like,
Cringe.
yes, very, very cringeworthy. Like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
And then some of the stuff that I really appreciated, because I didn't have the followers that I have now. I love reposting because I think they were great back then.
Yeah.
And if it lands well on a wider audience, then that can be a part of it as well.
Yeah.
I really appreciate watching the analytics of it all and trying to figure out what goes well, what
Yeah.
doesn't go well, what lands, what makes a good video. Is it likes? Is it shares?
Yeah.
Is it engagement? Is it views? And then trying to figure out the algorithm, like it's something to be able to be figured out, I think is just exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, and it's so funny to me how you can post one thing that you think is just going to take off, and it does nothing, and then you post something random, and it like booms.
Skyrockets.
Like
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
Like why?
Mhm.
Is it the right tag? Is it the right time that you're posting it?
The one thing, I guess, and I'm sure we'll get to like tips and tricks
Yeah.
later on, one that I'll share right now, if you can hit the timing is everything, right? So
Yeah.
when just this last week, Portnoy released that video,
Yes.
saying how awesome New England is
Yeah.
and this, that, and the other thing. And then literally you just watched all of these Buffalo creators, right when we won, we were all dropping videos
Yeah.
and they all did really, really well
Yeah.
because I just think you had to be ready with something, to
Yeah.
get out there. Even if it's not your best work, you had to drop
Yeah.
something at that moment. And I think part of his ploy too was he knew exactly what he was doing because his video went
Oh,
through
yeah.
the roof, right?
Yeah.
Like he knew if he got enough of us upset, we were all going to share it. So,
Oh man, he suckered us right
Yeah,
into
yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Right
Yeah.
into it.
but we won, so it made it worth it.
Take that, Stefan Diggs, but
Yeah.
whatever. Whatever. How do you come up with your ideas?
So I would love to say I'm a super creative person. I am really not. I would consider myself totally not creative, and this is really my first creative adventure in my life, which has been fun just to watch unfold.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do watch a lot of different videos and see what other folks are doing and if something's going viral or if it's a trend. And then a lot of it is how can we add that buddy spin where it's just this over the top silliness
Yeah.
that I hope lands.
Yeah.
If I can share a quick story about that.
Please. Yeah.
Right now, there's a big trend about quarter zips and matcha. And I see quarter zips and matcha, quarter zips and matcha, quarter zip. And I'm like, man, what do we? And I was like, you know what we're going to do? we're just gonna dump a full beer in a matcha while I'm wearing a quarter zip. And that's what we did. And it did great for us. And right now I'm in like trying to my bulking stage of my followers, so that's kind of my metric that I'm using. And it was just fun and silly, and don't worry about how it tasted. That's not the point of the video, right? But it was something that was just silly to go out there with the trend that people would recognize.
Yeah. I think I saw that one actually, and the quarter zip thing is what caught me because I was like,
it's like he's never in a quarter zip.
No, this is what's happening right now. Oh, but wait, who is the person who's playing your elf now?
Yeah, Buddy the Elf. So that's my brother.
Okay.
So somebody who helps me with a lot of my creativity, I would say. Along with looks and creativity, he got everything. And he's always willing to help me out and have fun with it. And that literally, Buddy the Elf is his personality.
That's
so
it
embodies him very well.
Yeah, he does a great job at it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
so
you.
funny. But yeah, and it's just I don't know. For me, it's so hard to come up with those creative ideas. Like, how far in advance do you try to plan something? Because like that, the thing with the Patriots this week, you had to be like right there in the moment.
Yes, you're right.
So do you try to schedule things out?
So in the content world, it's called your content calendar. So I try really hard to be 1 month in advance.
Okay.
At least have my eye.
Yeah.
And during the season, it's very mapped out and scheduled. We do our drink, our weekly cocktail comes out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Our food review comes out on Thursday. And then whenever our game is when we do our tailgate chaos. And that, I'm constantly thinking about that, and I have a running list on my phone of different ideas. Someone says something happens. I jot it down right away. And like, how can we buddyify this to make it, appropriate? So, but it's almost, a part-time job.
Yeah.
Time and energy wise that goes into it.
Yeah. And it's so true. And so content creation is becoming its own career option. And I was thinking about this earlier. My parents didn't, they're no longer with me, but I think about my mom, if she ever got her hands on TikTok, I think she would have been the church lady who does TikTok, like Dana Carvey or something, like we played that. But this is a career option. This is a really true career option. What are your thoughts on how things are pivoting and how you're finding yourself doing this?
Yeah. And there's so much that goes into the social media world, right?
Yeah.
There's the the behind the scenes stuff of all that goes into videography and lighting and sound. That is all new to me, right?
Yeah.
I don't have any background in any of that. There's the technical piece of posting and, working with, all these different, settings and all these different things that I'm learning as well. Right. And then there is the talent piece, right, of just being out there in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. And, not everyone's willing to do that. Right. Yep. We know that better than anybody. Right. But that's a whole nother piece that is almost, I would say, and I'm sure someone will correct me, but it's the new theater, right? It's the new ability. Can you jump onto a mic with or without a script and run with it?
Yep.
And then we just chatted about the whole creative piece.
Yeah.
Coming up with these ideas, what's going to land, what's good. What's, to use your title, right? What's authentic to the brand that you are portraying, right? Buddy's a character. So the character's brand needs to keep moving forward.
Yep.
And then land on people and hopefully is relatable. And then, that reflects how well the brand is doing then as well.
Yeah. I think the other thing I think about is the fact that people are going to content creators over doing more commercials and things of that nature, because you're posting to, when you post, you're posting to about 14,000 people or so at any one time. That's low hanging fruit if you don't have a lot of advertising budget to be able to go to.
Sure, totally.
Yeah.
And you then want to find somebody like myself who like, hey, we'll give you this free speaker to try out at your tailgate, or
Yeah.
here's a couple coolers.
Yeah.
I just had 2 companies reach out to me about coolers they want to see in some videos, and it's like,
Yeah.
I will gladly, right? Like, I would love to be able to, make a living out of this, but
Yeah.
I'll grab a couple coolers along the way
Yeah.
and, go from there as we, figure out what this is all about.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. And we were talking before the show started that there's no job descriptions. Like if you think there might be something because you think it could be fun or there's a need, go write your own job description.
Totally.
Yeah, like,
and I think something that, so many people are on these platforms.
yes,
And what are we putting out into the world, right? We
Yeah.
try, from my end, we try super hard to always be positive.
Yeah.
I made it one of my things that I will comment. I will respond to everybody's comment, no matter what,
Yeah.
even if it's negative, and I try to steer it, and people aren't always nice, right? Especially in the
Yeah.
comment section. But it's putting out that positivity, putting out that good energy, hopefully comes back to us tenfold.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you know what? The world needs more kindness.
Oh, do we ever?
I
Holy
mean,
smokes.
so we need more positive, we need more buddy than we do so many other things that come across social platforms every
Mhm.
day.
And I think that's one of the things everybody, whenever I see them, we call it Buddy in the Wild, right? I
Yeah.
always make sure to take pictures with folks
Yeah.
who get really excited. After I finish this, I do have a silly story about that.
Yes.
But, everybody comes up to me and says, you put a smile on our face, you make us happy, and I forget about whatever heaviness I have going on.
Mhm.
Even for those, right, 14 seconds or whatever
Yeah.
it may be, right? And that just feels good to
Yeah.
come back on.
That can change somebody's day.
I would like to think so. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
We were, our family went to the Bills 50-yard line 5K.
Hey, we were there too.
Oh, awesome. Fantastic. So our kids ran the short one, and then
Yeah.
I ran the longer one. And then they had some Bills alumni signing autographs. And I knew we were in Buffalo when the beer line was much longer than the autograph
It
line.
was terrible.
It was
line.
unbelievable. It was unbelievable to get a beer at that place. But lo and behold, somebody yells out "Buddy" from across, maybe 10 yards.
Yeah.
And it was this awesome juxtaposition that I was posing for this picture next to this Bills alum. And I was like, what world are we living in right now
Yeah.
that this is where we are?
Yeah.
And, it felt cool. My kids loved it.
Heck
So
yeah.
it was just this really neat moment that we were able to enjoy together. But like you're saying, it's just unbelievable how the reach of these social medias, and gosh, how many podcasts are out
Yeah.
there. But
7 million on Spotify.
okay. Wow.
7
I wouldn't
million.
have had. Okay.
Yeah. And the
Ah.
only reason I know that is because I just did some research after winning some awards from Spotify. I'm like, wait, what's my competition here?
That's great. Congratulations. That's amazing.
But it can be saturated. You got to use your voice and come up with something unique that people will actually focus on. Yeah.
And I think that goes back to, like you were saying in the beginning, my cringy videos. I was all over the map. I had
Yeah.
no idea. I was trying to grab people who liked laundry and grab people who like this and grab
Yeah.
people that, until like the Eat, Drink, Be a Bills fan, hit me. And I was like, let's just run with it. That's
Yeah.
who we are, and when the Bills are out of season, content does slow down for
Yeah.
us a little bit, but it's harder to think of ideas. And like you're saying, it's how do you make that? I always mispronounce. Is it niche? The
niche? I think niche,
Okay,
yeah.
great. Thank you. how do you make it so specific,
Yeah.
but people want to be involved in it?
Yeah.
Not just my mom, liking and subscribing.
Yeah. Oh, if you could tell your mom to like and subscribe the podcast.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
For sure. Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
I don't know if she knows what podcasts are, but I'll get there.
Okay, cool.
I'll get there. Yeah.
No, but it's so hard. And I would just like to say, I think off season, you'll have some baby watch to be on.
Yes.
Like there's some content there.
Yes, there really is.
Yeah.
For sure. We have to find out everything about this child.
Yes.
I think Buddy is in the running for a possible name, though, right? That's
we could start a petition for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you got it.
Thank
All
you.
right,
That'll be
it's
great.
happening
Yes.
in the show notes.
Great.
That's going to happen. Josh Allen, Haley, Buddy's the baby's name. Boy, girl, it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. No way.
So and I know it's so interesting to watch the metrics, to look at different things. How have you been able to get the reach that you have? Because you've, in 2 years, that's a pretty significant number of followers that you have. What are some of the tools that you're like, this is interesting to me, this might help?
The number one most important is my wife. My wife shows up in my videos and it just skyrockets.
Really?
My literal, now it's our literal claim to fame is our video where we cover the You Lost That Lovin' Feeling song in the basement as I'm like filling up a drink for her.
Yeah.
And it hit 2 million views like that.
Stop.
And just totally blew up our account. And I think that's what it is, right? You send one video viral and it just absolutely is fantastic.
How did you tag that one?
I'm not even remembering.
Yeah,
right
I mean,
now,
this is very interesting.
But it was just one of those things. We had beer cans hanging from the ceiling as our microphones, and
oh my gosh.
really like just built up this moment that once again was authentic silliness for us that we didn't think was going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my gosh, this video is blowing up right now. It's out of control.
Everybody wake up.
Yeah, exactly. And it was in March, so it was out of season and just did really well.
That is so fun.
And of course, now my wife is super particular when she's ready to come on and because she knows how badly I need her on the show regularly. But she, makes an appearance and then, goes behind the scenes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really great. That is awesome. What about the financial aspect? So we joke about the coolers and things like that, but I mean, ultimately this can be a career and getting sponsors are so hard. Any word of advice for people who are out there trying really hard?
I do not have the type of personality that wants to necessarily sell myself.
Yeah.
Nor do I like to be repetitive or naggy.
Yeah.
And that's exactly who you have to be in this market. Like
Yeah.
you have to, reach out to companies 2-3 times because they have a lot going on and we're not their number one priority, obviously. And then sometimes it just clicks and you get a hold of the right person at the right time. And sometimes, I just had Rudy's Blue Cheese. I had an idea. We were going to the North Carolina game and I have this really cool glass purse. And I was like, I got to fill this with blue cheese because we're going in a ranch country was my whole premise. The female CEO of Rudy's loved this idea, sent me 8 jars of blue cheese. We filled it up and away we went. And it was just, I think really nice people like that, willing to go out on a limb. Right. She didn't know if this was going to, I didn't know if it was going to land. Right. Yeah. And spoiler alert, the purse is coming back for the Eagles game. So we're going to do it here.
Awesome.
And we're, just planning that out and looking forward to it is just part of the fun.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But again, it's a different way to market their product. They just hit a whole new demographic that they're not going to get by putting an ad on TV.
Right. Totally. And now, I think about this all the time. Ads on TV, right, during the Bills game, you can't swipe away from them. So you're forced to watch that full, Jeep commercial, or that full, Tide to Go commercial, whatever it might be, right? That where I think we have a more personal relationship where people watch us because they want to watch us or listen to us. And that totally, like you're saying, that totally changes what marketing looks like. Like they do not have to listen to us. They choose to listen to us. And that means they're captive. They're ready, Oh, if this guy says it works,
I'm going to go buy some.
I'm going to try it,
I'm going to go get a purse and fill it with blue cheese.
What else could you fill it with, right?
I mean, wine.
Great.
I would take that.
I did that for one of our, and this would be great for your tailgate, one of those anything but a cup parties. I don't know if you've ever done these.
No, what is this party?
So you have to drink out of literally anything but a cup.
All right.
So I filled my little purse, with my drink, and, away we went. And then people brought, all sorts of different weird apparati. Yeah.
That's good.
Somebody was drinking out of like a ketchup bottle.
Oh my God.
Just to, anything but a cup. So whatever you can come up with.
Okay.
Fill it up and away you go.
It's kind of like the ode to the bowling ball that they take shots out of, like
Precisely.
almost.
Yeah, totally.
Which still grosses me out.
They do wipe it off. They do. Yeah.
I mean, all right, but I don't know. It worries me.
But that's a great segue. Another great, we did a pizza review with, Pizza Pete, who cooks out of a filing cabinet at that tailgate. And just that kind of excitement is fun, right? To feel like you're a part of something bigger than just ourselves and see how excited people get.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, not one person cared who they were drinking before or after, or where was this filing cabinet that he was getting this pizza from? Like he cut it with grass shears. And I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
This is just right for us.
But that is what draws people into Buffalo content. Like I'll say all the time to people, I'm a huge Bills fan, and like, do you belong to that mafia thing? And like, I do, but it draws people in. They want to know what this jumping on the tables and ketchup mustard thing is.
Right.
Like, so to be able to leverage that to help grow your business, essentially,
Totally.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And especially, in talking about those guys, right? They never, right? He literally asked his brother for ketchup and mustard.
Yep.
And next thing you know, we are all just slamming ketchup and mustard on ourselves, right? It started off so simple and so easy and so goofy. And here we are, 10 years later.
Yeah.
And everybody knows about it.
Even the CBS like morning news guys are like, where is the ketchup mustard guy? It's so interesting. But what about consistency? Like when in posting this, like that's, I think that's the one thing that I keep hearing is consistency. What about from yourself?
Yeah. So my cousin was very big in the perfume world.
Okay.
As a content creator. Once again, so specific, so pinpoint. She did haikus with it. And her number one piece of advice for me was try 90 days. Try 90 days and post every single day.
Okay.
And I was just starting out and I was like, okay, yeah. And this is where all the cringe comes from. I was like, I need content. I need something needs to go out. And literally, so they say that is what helps the algorithm is just something put out there is so important no matter what it is. Yeah. And then, like we talked about, some of them are gold, right? And some of them are not.
They're still there.
Yeah, right. And everybody says do not delete them. Leave them
Yeah.
out there because you never know, what's gonna come of it or
Mhm.
whatever. And
Yeah.
Going off of what you said too about how it's changed the landscape so much. I think all of the AI world too has changed so much. For somebody like myself who may be struggling with an idea, it's very simple to throw into one of these AI generated things to come up with ideas.
Yeah.
Right. But then you still have to create
Yeah.
it. Right. It's not, because now there's a lot of people just putting out AI generated
Yeah.
things. Right. Or how do you fine tune something
Yeah.
to be a little bit more specific?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, sometimes like you said before, the most fine-tuned, delightful thing never lands.
Yeah.
And it's the total randomness that people are
Yeah.
like, that's awesome. Let's go with that.
Yeah. I know a few weeks ago, when the very first snow that we had, I got more likes on like me standing out there taking a video of going, it's our first snow, than on some of the other things. So I'm like, this is going to be the one.
Right.
Like, why? What happened there?
Yes, exactly. But it's timing. It's what people are interested in. Somebody just gave me the advice that nobody likes good content. They have to be moved to like it. So
Okay.
why are you moving them?
Yeah.
Right? So maybe it's the emotional piece. Maybe it's the nostalgic piece. Maybe it's, I can relate to that piece.
Yeah.
Humor. I always thought it was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah.
And, I guess nobody acts like that. Why people press the follow button, I will never know, though. When they come out of the woodwork and they're like, you know what? That's worth a follow.
Yeah.
I have tried everything, and it is more the one-on-one connections that you make with somebody. If we had a live audience here, right, we could say, hey, follow us. And more often than not, especially the younger crew, are pressing that follow button very, very quickly.
Yeah, that's funny. And for everybody watching us live, hit that. Go and find Buddy. Hit that subscribe and follow button.
Please, you will not be disappointed.
How about any positives that have come out of just day to day with taking this new direction in content creation?
Yeah, just this whole new landscape that I never knew even existed, right? Like I would never be having this conversation in a podcast if it wasn't for Buddy's content. And just some of the opportunities. And I think a lot of that is how can, we already eat as a family. We already, go on these experiences. There's a ton of moms out there doing mom content that lands really well. And it's just, hey, we're already doing this. I'm just going to take out my phone and video it and see where it goes. And sometimes some of that stuff is fantastic. And I think that's right. The key to it is being able to figure out how that happens.
Yeah. It's just so interesting. It really is.
And
I do love like the moms who have been able to take like being a stay-at-home mom and turn it into a complete following. And I think it's because they want to people feel connected. And, that if you're another stay-at-home mom and you feel alone and you find this person, like they're going through it too.
Right.
You want to be their friend and like you follow them.
5 years ago, I had this dream of doing the podcast thing, and I was going to name it something to the effect of we are all leading the exact same lives.
Okay.
Just at different times, at different spaces. And these are the folks you need to find that when you talk to people, you're like, well, yeah, we do something like that.
Yeah.
Right? We have that tradition. We have, right, we may not be jumping through tables, but we have our own thing that we do, maybe not for the NFL. Maybe it's for soccer. Maybe it's for volleyball, or maybe it's for theater, right? We have some kind of camaraderie that brings people together. And And then there's some people who, just say some really weird phrases, and then they have this huge following. And it's like, man, if I could have just thought of that phrase, it would have been
Why
great.
wasn't I incoherent for the right minute in time?
Correct. Why wasn't I recording at that
That's
moment?
right.
Yes, totally.
I think too, you mentioned 2020, and I think about the time that we went through during COVID. And I think coming out of that, people do want to feel connected. And, truly there are some really nice people that are out there. And so if somebody's doing something that maybe you want to do, reach out to them. Like I would say, if your content is hitting right and you're like, I like what that person, reach out to them and say hello.
Yeah.
Like, see what they're up to.
Social media leads with being social, right?
Yeah.
If we're not in these professions or in these fields because we don't want to be social. We want to know what people are up to. We want to hear their story. We want to know what strikes with you, right? Like, somebody, I just reviewed a restaurant locally, and somebody told me this beautiful story about, my dad used to work second shift around the corner, and it's like, that's why we do this stuff, right?
Oh, that's so nice.
We do this to hear those stories. And please, I know it's not about me, right? Like, I'm just an avenue that hopefully brings this out. But if that person can connect with somebody else, I think it makes it worth it at that point.
The power of the connector behind it is incredible.
Totally.
Well, those are great positives. Any negatives?
Time, energy, money. It's a lot, right? Like, it is draining.
Yep.
I also, this is not my full-time gig. This is my side thing. And as I mentioned, I have a wife and a family, and I want to be present to those things. And regularly I have to be in check myself, right? Hey, it's getting out of control, right? Like, I am doing too much, or just like with any hobby, I would think, right? I'm not great at hobbies. So if I knew better, maybe I would have one. But this is kind of what it is. And I think, like you're hinting at back with the positives, right? If I was making trillions on this, I could justify it until the cows come home. But we're not right now, and it's hard. It's very hard. I try to pair, if I'm going to review a place, we try to eat there for supper that night or whatever it might be. And then, my brand new liquor cabinet that I all of a sudden have, right, is, all based in Buddy's strange cocktails, that I would have never had before. But all part of, right, that trying to move in a direction and figure it out. I think a lot of people would say a negative would be the people. I have not found that. I have not found a lot of negative Nancys in the world. Sorry if your name is Nancy. Right. I have found a lot of nice people in the world, and people who even come to bat when somebody is, not positive, right? Somebody else will say something like, hey, not here, right? Or moving on, type thing, which is great to see that unfold.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Genuinely, I think people have kind hearts.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there are some people out there, though, that have that behind the keyboard type of empowerment to them, but
totally. And I think, lo and behold, right, if you're open and honest that this is silliness, this is fun, right, they're like, all right, let's move on from that guy. He's not gonna want to fight with me. Somebody just posted something the other day about, I am not that type of person that needs to respond when I disagree with somebody. Right. It's just move on. I'm just going to keep scrolling on to something else. I don't have that kind of energy to put into it.
I know, it's because all of our time is being spent on content creation.
Right? Unbelievable.
I know. And it does, it's funny because you start realizing, I need to go spend like $100 on this because it's going to look good, like in the shot. I know for me, it's constantly, okay, should we get this piece of software for the podcast? What should we do here or there? it adds up.
It really does.
And
Very quickly.
you just got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Hope that the outcomes are out there
Mhm.
somewhere.
But it's funny too, right? And just this as an example, right? This looks so cool right now, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
this was thousands of dollars, right? Don't tell me if it's not, please. Right? But there's also like, can you set that stage?
Yeah.
Like, can you frame the party to make it look cool?
Yep.
Right? And sometimes that stuff, right? Like if we
Yeah.
had to buy this setting behind us,
Yeah.
you know, you would be
Oh yeah.
set back way behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
what's going on?
Yeah. Absolutely. Again, another shout out to the Labatt Brew House for hosting us tonight.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well, any other words of wisdom? So if somebody's like, I want to try this content creation. We've talked about consistency, giving it 90 days, get content out there, find your message. But anything else you want to
Just do it. Just
Yeah.
it's fun, it's exciting, and I can stop in a heartbeat if I wanted to, right? If
Well,
it
that's
wasn't
true.
working out,
Yeah.
right? Like there's nothing, I'm not signing a contract, I'm not,
Yeah.
you know, it's is totally just fun and excitement. And when it's not fun and exciting, then, you know, we'll be able to move on.
Yeah.
And, you know, on your end, if there's no more stories to share, you know,
Yeah.
then, you know, maybe you pivot in a different direction.
Yeah.
But I think there's always going to be a story to share or
Yeah.
a food to try,
Oh
right?
yeah.
I got to find that fourth piece to my, you know, wing Mount Rushmore and see who that is, and always go out for another try.
Yeah.
I'm not that old. I know the gray beard leads otherwise, but if you're young, shoot, definitely do it, because you have the time, the energy to have fun with it. Just make it happen. And if
Yeah.
it's not content creation, maybe it's something else, right? Maybe it's a workout plan that you've been
Yeah.
wanting to get into. You know, maybe it's clothes design or whatever it might be. That just try it. You never know who's going to be out there.
Yeah.
3 years ago, I would have never thought we would have 14,000 followers.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable just to think about how, right, it unfolds. Or, oh my gosh, I've been on 2 podcasts as a
Yeah.
guest. Like, I have something to share. Like,
Yeah.
okay, let's make it happen.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
it's fun.
it's just, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And you feel useful and you feel part of a larger community, and
Yeah.
it makes it fun then.
Yeah. And I think one thing you kind of alluded to it a little bit is that this is your thing, your life. If you need to throw some spaghetti strands at the wall to see what's going to stick, but what makes you happy, you know, as I share, we started the podcast in one direction and we're not in that same direction anymore. And every time we've pivoted, it's been a sign of growth.
Mhm.
So I think people, you know, just try what makes you happy now,
Right.
and know that it's probably going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially, I said this in the beginning, right? I would never consider myself a creative person.
Yeah.
But I saw something in somebody else who inspired me, and I said, I can do that. Right.
Yeah.
And if we can be that for somebody else to go and do it better than us, please go right ahead.
Yeah.
Text me, let me know that you want me to join you, but right, whatever.
That's a circle.
It's fun. But I think it's just it's enjoyable, right? It does bring joy.
Yeah.
In all those moments.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, what's one thing you want our listeners to know about you? So we do have a global audience. So what's one thing that you want to make sure our audience knows about yourself and Buddy in the Basement?
Buddy believes wholeheartedly that the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. And I would like
Yes.
everybody to get on board with me finally. And I think that energy will send us in the right direction. And if you haven't followed yet, please throw me a follow, throw me a comment. Let me know, what we can do.
Yeah.
We're always open to different suggestions and trying new things. So for sure.
It's awesome. And
Yeah.
we're going to put your Instagram link in the show notes. And then when we push it out to social platforms, we'll make sure that it's in there as well.
Great. And we'll do the same on our end.
Heck yeah. That's
You may have to
awesome.
show me how to do that, but
We'll
we'll
figure it
yeah,
out.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Well,
you.
what is one thing that the Powered by Authenticity team can help you with?
Oh my gosh, this was awesome. I'm just coming down here and having this conversation.
Yeah.
Keep rocking the merch. It looks great.
Listen,
Holy smokes.
I forgot. We have a Producer Ken fan club shirt. And I forgot to bring you one. So I will
Oh.
mail it to you. I'll get your address
Deal.
and we will mail it to you.
I love that.
They're cool. Producer Ken doesn't want to admit it, but he has a pretty big following.
I like that. I like that a lot.
But well, I want to just say thank you so much for being here tonight.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed our conversation, and want to thank the Labatt Brew House once again. Cool spot. Like, this is just so neat here. They have a new cigar room, which is fantastic. They took us
Okay.
on a little tour the other day, and
Oh,
just so fun.
yeah, it's a great location. But he doesn't dive into too much hockey, but I know hockey's right across the street
Right
here.
there,
and
Bandits Land.
Bandit Land, that's right.
Yep. So we want to thank them. Also, we want to thank our listeners. So if anybody's new here, welcome. Thank you to everybody who's been a long-time subscriber. We really appreciate it. And seriously, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you.
We've been
This was
looking
great.
forward to this. This is so much fun.
I'm glad you brought the metal table so I didn't need to jump through it or anything wild. This was awesome. Good speed for me.
All right. Well, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Have a great Christmas.
Yeah.
And
same
New
to you,
Year's,
for
and-
sure.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And we hope you have a good evening.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.